Once you cross past 40 into 50, into the 50s, past the 50s, everything changes. Your body starts breaking down muscle faster than it rebuilds it. The brain begins shrinking 0.5% smaller every year, and your metabolism slows so much that the meals that you've always eaten to stay trim can suddenly start adding pounds. But you don't have to accept that as your fate, because with the right plan, you can not only slow down the effect of the aging process on your mind, muscles, and metabolism, you could even reverse it. And this video is your blueprint to do exactly that. I will show you what's really happening inside your body, especially after the age of 50, how to train smarter, how to eat right, how to protect your body's vitality for decades to come. And at the end, I have a surprise that I've been waiting to reveal for months now, one that you'll definitely want to see. Now, real quick, we're going to cover a lot in this video. This is a mini masterclass condensed down into minutes. I don't want you to miss a thing. So I put together a free, extremely comprehensive companion guide that walks you through every strategy step by step, including the exact routines, meal plans, recipes, workouts, fasting schedules, and supplements that we'll talk about today. You can grab that guide in the link below so that you can follow along and start putting this into action in your own life. Here we go. Now, like I said, once you hit 50, everything inside your body starts to change. Not overnight, little by little, in ways that most people never notice until it's already taken hold. That's what makes it dangerous. It can sneak up on you. You might feel a little weaker, you might be a little more tired than usual, but what's really happening is a full-blown biological shift that your body and then you need to pay attention to. For one, your muscles start to deteriorate in a process called sarcopenia. It is the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that accelerates aging, starts very quietly in your 40s, but accelerates fast after 50. By the time it hits your 60s and 70s, you can lose up to 30 to 40% of your total muscle mass if you don't fight back. Some of the first muscle to go is your fast twitch fibers, the muscles that give you power, not only in your workouts, but also in your day-to-day life. These are what help you catch yourself when you trip, climb stairs, or get out of a chair. At the same time, a similar breakdown is happening inside your head. Around age 50, the white matter wiring that helps different parts of your brain talk to each other starts to wear down. And you begin to notice in small, frustrating ways, like walking into a room and forgetting why you were there, losing your train of thought mid-conversation, feeling like it takes longer to think about simple decisions, setting your glasses down and not remembering where the heck they are and they're on the top of your head. You ever done that one? All right, maybe we've all done that one before. The prefrontal cortex, the area that controls focus, planning, memory, starts to shrink. That's why so many people describe their 50s as foggy. It's not just in your head, it's the part of your brain responsible for clarity literally fading. Here's the good news. None of this has to be your fate. Muscle fibers can grow back even after decades of decline, and the brain can build new pathways and synapses even after years of fog. Science shows that both muscle and brain tissue can adapt and regenerate well into your 80s, but only if you take the right steps. And that's why I created this plan, to help you flip that switch back on. So let's get started. Now, if you want your muscles and your mind to stay young, the single best thing you can do is move. Movement is the signal that keeps your body alive and responsive. It's what tells your body, I'm still here. I'm still alive. Keep building. And it doesn't just make your muscles stronger, it helps send healing signals to every system in your body. Your brain, your heart, your hormones, all of it gets the message that you're still in the game. I always say sitting is the new smoking. There's a lot of sitting the older we get. We need movement. That's why exercise comes first. It's not groundbreaking news. It just has to be done because nothing else you do, not diet, not supplements, not fasting, will work at full power unless your body is moving. Now, here's what most people over 50 get wrong about exercise. They think that the safest version is the slow, steady stuff. The walking, the pedaling, gentle stretching. It's better than nothing, but it doesn't flip the right switches. It burns calories, but it doesn't activate your fat-burning hormones. It doesn't protect your muscle tissue or build the brain chemicals that keep you sharp. So what does? Something most older people never think of. High-intensity interval training, also called HIIT. Talking about quick, explosive intervals where you push your body hard for less than a minute, catch your breath, and then go again. Just 10 minutes at a time is all it really takes. That's all it takes to trigger the hormones that tell your body, burn fat, protect muscle, stay strong. And before you write it off as too intense or dangerous, hear this. High-intensity interval training has actually been proven to be one of the safest forms of exercise for people over the age of 50 that they can do. Not only that, older people can actually benefit from it more than younger people do. In clinical trials, men and women in their 60s and 70s doing short HIIT workouts, just 10 to 20 minutes 3 times a week, saw muscle strength increase by up to 40% in as little as 12 weeks. Even participants in their 80s gained measurable lean muscle mass after only 4 weeks of training. At the same time, those programs cut body fat by 3 to 5%. Intensity evaporates visceral fat, that's the dangerous kind around the organs, by over 10% in some cases. All without changing diet. Intensity is what zaps that sarcopenia. That's why I love it so much. These people's bodies in the studies weren't just holding on to muscle, they were rebuilding it while burning off the fat that drives inflammation and then speeds up aging. But HIIT's benefits don't stop just at muscle and fat. It literally protects your brain too. When you push your muscles, they release compounds called myokines. This was fun to research. These are little messenger proteins that travel through your blood and tell your brain to grow new cells, repair damaged ones, and build better connections. It's called muscle-brain crosstalk. It's one of the most powerful anti-aging discoveries in the last decade. It's proof that every time you move your body with intensity, you're not just training your muscles, you're training your mind to stay sharper longer. Also, during a HIIT workout, your muscles release something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. This is like fertilizer for your brain. It strengthens memory, boosts mood, and it even reverses some of the shrinkage that starts to happen with age. Remember, we talked about 0.5% a year. 1 year of consistent high-intensity training actually increased brain volume and memory in older adults. You can literally see it in the study on the MRI. It is lighting up more because they moved more. So every time you breathe hard and your muscles burn during a HIIT workout, your brain is getting younger too. Now let's talk about how to actually get these results. The good news is you don't need a gym. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need an hour. You just need 10 minutes and some space on the floor. That's all. I did this morning already. Here's the formula. I use it with all of our members as well. Step 1, pick 3 body movements. Choose movements that work multiple muscle groups. The more the better. Squats, push-ups, lunges, planks, mountain climbers, jumping jacks. Do your first exercise for 50 seconds. Move at your own pace, but make sure your pace is intense for you. Take a 10-second break when you're done with that and reset, then move to the next exercise. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off, same thing. Once you finish the third exercise, take a 40-second break. Repeat that same circuit of movements, 2 more rounds, and you've got a 9-minute and 50-second workout. That's it. Doing that 6 times per week, that is less than an hour of exercise a week, but it means you can turn back your biological clock in less than an hour per week. Now, if you're just starting out, consider taking longer breaks in between, or maybe do 40 seconds of exercise and a 20-second break. You can vary the timing, no matter what level you're at. The key is intensity. Challenge yourself without hurting yourself, right? But we actually offer hundreds of these HIIT workouts to our members. Each one includes easier variations for the beginners, what we call level 1. And then for the more experienced folks, weighted variations, we call it level 3. So level 1, level 2, level 3. It's another reason HIIT is such a good option for people over 50 because it allows you to safely scale the difficulty up or down. If you'd like to try some of these, I've included 5 free video workouts in the guide. So you can make sure and grab your copy, give those workouts a try. Once you regularly start doing these HIIT workouts, you'll usually notice improvements in your metabolism within 2 weeks. Within a month, your strength and your balance start to improve. And then within 3 months, your body will start to act years younger again because biologically it is. Now, while we're on the subject of exercise, if you want to get the most out of your workouts, it's not just about how hard you train. It's also about what happens after you train, the recovery every window is where your body rebuilds stronger, faster, and sharper. And the two most powerful nutrients that can make that possible are protein and creatine. They're the fuel behind every rep, every thought, every ounce of energy that you have. And after the age of 50, you need them even more because your body actually stops using them efficiently. In the case of protein, and I would lump collagen into that, it's what we call anabolic resistance. It's the main reason results from your workout slow down, even though your effort doesn't. In your 20s, a small dose of protein could switch on muscle building mode. But by your 50s, by your 60s, that signal gets really faint. And your body needs more total protein and higher quality protein to get the same response. It also starts to lose collagen, the connective tissue of that muscle, at the same time. That's why it's one of my favorite types of protein, because they kind of overlap. It depletes. With age, it takes more to maintain it. According to the research, the old recommended daily allowances of 0.35 grams per pound of body weight is no longer enough for anyone over the age of 50. You actually need closer to 0.5 gram per pound daily just to maintain muscle. Closer to 1 gram per pound if you're active and you're really trying to lose fat. It's roughly 100 to 150 grams of protein then for most adults. It's not just the amount that you need to get right, it's also the timing. Most people eat almost all their protein at dinner time, but your body can only use about 25 to 35 grams per meal. It can only just take in so much at one time. So if you're getting 10 grams at breakfast and 60 at dinner, you might actually be starving your muscles a little bit when they need it the most, and then overdoing it at night when your body is primed to store fat. More on that in just a moment. Instead, what we want to do is distribute your protein evenly. So we're aiming for 25 to 35 grams of high quality protein per meal. If you struggle to hit your target through food alone, a simple shake, collagen supplement fills the gap without overloading the digestive system. But protein isn't the full story. To actually use that protein to power your workouts, your brain, and your recovery, your body also needs creatine. You can think of creatine as your cell's rechargeable battery pack. It helps your muscles and your brain make ATP. That's the molecule every cell uses for energy. When your ATP runs low, you feel more weak, foggy, and tired. But when creatine levels are topped up, your energy production fires like new. Now, I know what some people think when they think of the word creatine. We picture it more for bodybuilders, or we think of it as almost like a performance-enhancing drug or like a steroid, but it could not be further from the truth. Creatine is actually produced naturally in your body. It's made from amino acids found in foods like meat and fish. Ancient humans used to get a lot more of it in their diet. So our bodies evolved to produce less than what we need. And as we age, not only does our natural production slow down, but our diets also tend to include less meat and other sources of dietary creatine. That's why it becomes such a game changer after the age of 50, just like collagen, because it's depleting and we haven't been getting enough of it in our diet. So what you're doing with creatine is you're simply topping off what time has taken away, restoring the energy that your muscles and your brain need to perform at their best. And much like the HIIT workouts, studies show that creatine actually benefits older people more than younger ones. In one study, older adults supplementing with creatine gained up to 3 pounds of lean muscle in just 8 to 12 weeks. They also experienced significant increases in both upper and lower body strength, even without changing their diet. In addition, it improved their bone density and balance, and it lowered that fall risk. And creatine doesn't just help build muscle, it actually boosts brain performance as well. It's been shown to improve memory, processing speed, and focus, especially when your brain is under stress or fatigue. It's because your brain is an energy hog. It burns through about 20% of your body's total energy. Have you ever worked all day and were exhausted? You're like, how am I exhausted? I didn't even move. I was just at the desk. Because your brain is consuming so much energy. But as you get older, it loses efficiency, slowing you down mentally in the process. So you need to supplement with a creatine if you want to keep it sharp and responsive to top those levels up. Now, here's what I recommend. A dose of 2.5 to 5 grams daily. That's enough to eventually top up your body's creatine levels. If you stay consistent, it takes time to build it up in the system. I like collagen, you got to top it back up. You can take it any time of the day, but pairing it with your workout or with a meal helps absorption. In addition, there's actually one more thing that you can take with creatine to maximize its power. But before we get into that, let's talk nutrition. Nutrition for the mind and the muscle. When it comes to protecting your mind and protecting your muscle, the food that is on your plate each day is either moving you in the right direction or in the wrong one. Those messages come from 3 key nutrients: protein, healthy fat, healthy fiber. Notice I didn't say carbs, I said fiber. This combination is the foundation of every meal I build. So let's talk protein first. Protein's your body's construction crew. As most people know, it keeps your muscles strong, it repairs tissues, it fuels your metabolism. If you don't get enough of it, your body will start breaking down muscle for energy. And that's the last thing that you want as you age. But protein does more than just build muscle, it also feeds your brain. The amino acids in protein are what your brain uses to make neurotransmitters. Chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, the ones that keep your happy button on, keep you focused, keep you motivated. So when you start getting high quality protein at every meal, your mood perks up and your brain stays more clear. Some of our favorite sources: wild caught fish, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, organic eggs, clean protein sources like collagen, or even a pea or a hemp protein. Next up, healthy fats. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. Every cell in your body has a fat layer around. What this means is that the kind of fat you eat literally becomes part of your body and part of your brain cells. Healthy fats are like premium building material. They strengthen your cell membranes so that the nutrients can get in and the waste can get out. They also keep you full longer, and they support your hormones, the ones that regulate your metabolism. In fact, one study found that when people added just a half an avocado to their lunch, they felt 23% more satisfied and stayed full for up to 5 hours longer. And believe it or not, the same fats that feed your brain also protect your muscles. Omega-3 fats, for example, help your muscles respond better to protein and then actually increase muscle protein building, synthesis. That's why I tell people fat isn't the enemy. The right fats actually fuel your body. So great sources are avocados, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, nuts, seeds, wild-caught fish or salmon. And finally, we'll put all that together for absorbing it. We're going to focus on the third macro, fiber. Fiber is the missing link in most diets. Up to 95% of adults don't get enough. Most only consume about half the recommended daily amount. That's one of the main reasons why weight loss stalls and why blood sugar spirals out of control for a lot of adults. Because fiber's job is to slow digestion, keep blood sugar steady, and give your liver a break. When you eat refined carbs, the things like bread, pasta, or cereal that have been stripped of their fiber, the sugar from those foods hits your bloodstream seconds that process begins. But when you add fiber, it's like putting a slow release valve on the sugar. Your body absorbs it gradually so your energy stays stable and your cravings stay under control. Fiber also feeds the good bacteria inside of your gut, which actually has a huge impact on your brain. When those bacteria in your gut are healthy, they produce compounds that can reduce inflammation and boost brain function. So as a result, people who eat more fiber perform better on memory and focus tests. So it's literally brain food. Most guidelines suggest 7 to 10 grams per meal, or about 25 to 30 grams a day for most people. It's the minimum you should be getting each day. Great sources: leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts, berries, chia seeds, flax seeds, some of my favorite, easiest ways to get fiber in, beans, lentils. But I've actually included a couple of lists of foods and even some examples of some healthy and tasty recipes in the free guide link below. Next, you can't rebuild your body with good material if you're still filling it with poisonous ones. This is where most people get stuck. They start adding in the healthy foods, things we just discussed, but they never take care of the stuff that's been damaging them for years. It's the food I call crap. C.R.A.P, an acronym I'm using to help people remember what not to eat. The C in C.R.A.P stands for something that you probably heard me talk about before lots of times: refined carbs, refined sugars. And they're in things you don't even expect: bread, cereal, granola bars, healthy yogurt, or snack crackers. These foods dump sugar into your bloodstream, causing your insulin to spike, and then your liver has got to deal with all that overload. Over time, that constant sugar rush does more than just make you fat. It trains your brain to ignore insulin. So then your muscles stop pulling sugar out of your blood, and instead it starts to get stored. Also inflames and damages your brain's blood vessels, speeds up memory loss, fatigue. It clogs up the brain. The R of C.R.A.P stands for rancid oils. These oils: canola, soybean, corn, vegetable, the wrong type of sunflower, safflower, they're in almost every packaged food and restaurant meal that you eat. They're cheap, they're easy to cook with, and they're killing people slowly. When you eat bad fats, they oxidize, meaning they go rancid inside of you, the same way that they would if you set the oil out in the sun. That rancid fat damages your cell membranes. It inflames your joints, and it gets stored deep into your fat cells. You can burn off sugar in a few hours, but these oils, they can sit in your body for up to 2 years before they clear out. And the worst part, they're hidden in so many so-called health foods. It's unbelievable to me. Protein bars, salad dressings, even supplements. So when you cut the R in crap, you're not just skipping fries and fast food. You gotta be checking labels, avoiding the seed-based oils and replacing them with real fats. Things like avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter. Let's go to the A of the CR.A.P analogy. Stands for artificial ingredients. These are the fake sweeteners, dyes, preservatives. They sneak into your food, oftentimes under names that you can't pronounce. Sucralose, aspartame, ACE-K, Red 40, Yellow 5. It's chemical warfare on your body. In one major study, people who used artificial sweeteners experienced 62% faster cognitive decline, the equivalent of nearly 2 extra years of brain aging. Even just one diet soda a day was linked to memory loss and slower thinking. That means these 0-calorie, skinny versions of sweeteners might not raise your blood sugar as much, but they still age your brain and arguably faster. Consider switching to a natural sweetener if you've got a sweet tooth that needs sufficing and you don't want to eat sugar. Monk fruit, stevia, allulose, 3 great options for alternatives to still get sweet, but not get the damage. Final letter of the CR.A.P analogy, the P, stands for processed protein. Talking about deli meats, hot dogs, bacon strips, all of them filled with nitrates, cheap protein powders, and protein drinks that you see all over the place now, and protein bars filled with fillers and artificial junk. These are proteins that cause inflammation, overload your liver, and fill your body with chemicals that cancel out all the benefits of the good stuff. What's the point of putting on more muscle if we're getting sicker in the process? Let's not do that. That's the C.R.A.P acronym. Refined carbohydrates and sugars, rancid oils, artificial ingredients, and processed proteins. If you're able to remove even half of this crap from your diet, you will see changes in your energy, your skin, your strength, your focus, and your fat loss within weeks. So eat real food, cut the crap, and watch your body and your mind come back to life. Now, the timing of your meals can completely reset how your metabolism, your hormones, and even your brain function. Most people start eating early in the morning and then keep going until right before bed, which means your body never gets a break to burn fat or repair itself. But your system was designed for the opposite. You were meant to eat during the daylight when your metabolism is active, and you're meant to fast overnight when your body does its cleanup work. It's the rhythm of your hormones, your digestion, and what even your brain is wired for. When you eat in sync with that rhythm, that's where the magic happens. This approach is called early time restricted eating, or what I like to call night fasting. Simply means you eat your meals earlier in the day, and then you give your body a true break overnight. You don't have to go all the way to that right away. You can start simple. Just finish dinner a little earlier. Stop eating after that when you're watching your shows. If you normally snack before bed, that's the one thing to cut. That alone starts to lower insulin and gives your liver the break it needs to switch back into fat burning mode while you sleep. Once that feels easy, start tightening your eating window. Most people do great eating all of their meals within 8 to 10 hours. For example, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's your eating window. Gives you a 14 to 16 hour overnight fast, which is the sweet spot for balancing hormones, burning fat, protecting your brain. Because during those fasting windows, something incredible happens. Insulin drops, allows your body to tap into stored fat for fuel. Growth hormone rises dramatically, as much as 10 times higher overnight, depending how long you fasted. Growth hormone is what keeps your body strong while your body is cleaning out damaged cells. That's the one you want working for you, just like an athlete would. Your brain benefits too. Fasting triggers a process called autophagy, which clears out old, worn out cells, and it makes room for new, healthy ones. That means better focus, better memory, and less brain fog over time. So if you've been trying to lose fat or boost energy, the timing of your meals might be the key that you've been missing. Now, before we get into that big reveal I talked about earlier, I want to give you a few powerful additional recommendations specifically for your brain. Simple habits that can take everything that we've talked about and amplify it. These are what I call bonus brain boosters, okay? They're small, practical changes that can make a massive difference in how sharp and calm and focused you feel as you age. Let's talk about stress first. Cortisol control. When your stress stays high, your brain and your body pay for it. Every time you feel rushed or overwhelmed or tense, your body releases cortisol. It's your built-in alarm system. In short bursts, it's helpful. Keeps you alert, ready to react. But when your alarm stays on too long, it does some real damage. It drains your focus, it fogs your thinking, and it throws off the chemical balance your brain depends on to stay sharp. Here's the catch. As you get older, your baseline cortisol naturally rises. That means your brain is already under more pressure, which makes it even more important to learn how to calm that system down. Believe it or not, the fastest way to calm that stress response isn't a supplement, it's your breath. Just 1 minute of focused breathing can start lowering cortisol and blood pressure almost instantly. Here's how I teach it. You can either do boxed breathing or paced breathing. For boxed breathing, inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. And then pause for 4 seconds and then repeat. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. See the box? Now you got it. You're literally drawing a box with your breath. Do this for 1 minute. You'll feel your heart rate drop and your body relax. For paced breathing, inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. Exhale at least 5. It's really important to get all that air out on the exhale. Repeat that rhythm for a full minute. It's the same pattern your body naturally falls into when you're calm or asleep. You are teaching your nervous system to shift from fight or flight into a resting and repairing parasympathetic response. It literally activates rest and repair. What could be better for your brain and your muscle? You can do it anywhere, in the car, your way to work, in between meetings, go for a quick walk, before bed. Anytime. Do it 3 times a day for 1 minute or once a day for 3 minutes, whatever fits your schedule. And you'll notice within days that your thoughts feel clearer, your sleep improves, your tension fades faster. And if you got a blood pressure issue, it will bring it down. Brain booster number 2. If you want to keep your mind sharp after 50, there's one tool more powerful than any supplement or workout: sleep. Sleep isn't rest, it's repair. It's when your brain and your body literally rebuild themselves from the inside out. And the research is clear. Cutting sleep short doesn't just make you tired, it accelerates aging. Every drop in sleep quality ages your brain about 6 months faster. And when you sleep less than 6 hours, your risk of dementia jumps by 30%. It's because the deep sleep cleaning system that clears toxins from your brain simply shuts down. That same lack of sleep accelerates brain aging and then it impairs your mental clarity, because when you sleep, your body activates 2 critical repair systems. The first one's amazing. They literally just discovered it in the last few years, called the glymphatic system. It's your brain's cleaning system. It's like a night shift crew that clears out waste and toxins that build up in your brain while you're awake. When you don't get deep sleep, that cleanup crew never finishes their job. They don't have enough time. And the leftover toxins are left in your brain and start clogging it up. The same ones linked to Alzheimer's and memory loss. The second repair system is your muscles. During deep sleep, your body releases a surge of growth hormone. About 75% of your total growth hormone for the day, along with testosterone, released at night. These hormones rebuild your muscle tissue, strengthen your bones, and even help burn fat. So we want to build muscle, we better get some good rest so we can actually build it. Sweet spot is between 7 and 9 hours for most people per night, with a focus on deep, consistent sleep. That's when your body hits delta sleep, the slow wave phase where your brain consolidates memories and muscle actually rebuilds. Put some videos in the resource guide, some links for you on better sleep. You can go deep into my trainings and how to improve it if you're struggling there. Let's go brain booster number 3. Earlier, we talked about how creatine fuels your workouts. The spark plug that helps your muscles fire stronger and recover faster, drives ATP, energy production. But here's what most people don't realize. That same spark is what keeps our brain alive and focused, especially after age 50. Every thought, every movement, every memory you make runs on one thing: energy. And creatine is your body's fastest, cleanest way to make energy. Think of your cells like little batteries. Over time, those batteries start to wear out. They don't hold a charge as long as they used to. They drain faster, and it takes more effort just to do what used to feel easy. Creatine is what recharges those batteries instantly. Your muscles store about 95% of your body's creatine, but your brain keeps a small reserve of its own. And that reserve powers concentration, memory, and reaction speed. As you age, those stores decline. And when they do, you start to feel it. Sluggish thinking, slower recall, fatigue that even caffeine can't fix. That's why creatine is such a game changer for people over the age of 50. It doesn't just preserve muscle, it literally re-energizes the brain. Studies show in older adults who supplement with creatine perform better on memory tests, processing information faster, and stay mentally mentally sharper under stress. And the best part, your brain and your muscles use the same fuel system. When you lift weights or train your body, you're not just strengthening muscle, you're activating the same creatine-powered pathways that protect your neurons from aging. That's why I call creatine the ultimate mind and muscle connector. Now remember how I said that there's one more thing that can take creatine to the next level. That key is magnesium. Think of magnesium as the spark that turned the engine over. And when the two of them are paired, your body absorbs creatine more efficiently. It then uses it faster and it gets more strength and energy out of every gram that you intake. Without it, creatine can't fully recharge your cells or deliver its energy to your muscles and your brain. Magnesium is one of the nutrients that factor in order for creatine to work, it has to be present. That's why the right blend, clean creatine with magnesium, doesn't just build muscle, it fuels mental clarity, mood, recovery all at the same time. After everything we've covered, exercise, protein, fasting, stress, sleep, this is the final piece that ties it all together because none of it works well without energy. Creatine gives that energy back to your muscles and to your mind. So if you're serious about staying sharp, strong, resilient as you age, creatine isn't optional, it's foundational. So that's why I made it a core part of my own daily routine. And it's why I've created something new for you to make it a lot easier. Which leads me to my grand reveal, the Living Good Daily Creatine plus Magnesium. Very simple product that you can add in to top up your creatine levels and then to make it easy to absorb it through magnesium. No sugar inside the creatine was what I was looking for. I didn't want any gluten. We didn't want any pesticides inside of it. We wanted to make sure it was non-GMO. I wanted to make sure it was non-ETO, which is, it hasn't been sterilized with ethylene, which is a known carcinogen. I wanted to make sure there was no melamine, which is what leaches out of plastic when you heat them up. I wanted to make sure that there was no BSE or BTE and just, vegetarian, generally recognized as safe. And that's what I put together. So something my family and I could use. So if you want to make it easy, you can check that out. I'll put a link for it below. This guide will help you to get even further. And it's just going to start releasing a lot of stored hormones when you begin to implement all of this process. So that's exactly what you want, is to release the fat and to build the muscle and the strength, but the toxins have to go somewhere. And if your liver isn't ready, it can really end up backfiring on your system. So that's why the next step is so important. I put together a full masterclass. It was a 12-hour process of research and a teaching that I did for my people earlier this year. And I took the teaching and I condensed it into just 20 minutes. And it walks you through the number one fastest way to heal and protect your liver. And in it, you're going to learn what's clogging your liver and then how to fix it naturally, and then how to help your body flush out toxins the right way so you can keep making progress and feeling better every single week. I'll include a link to that here. Click here to watch it, and I'll see you over there.